A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to KTN NewsDesk. My name is Najma Ismail. Now, transport along the Kirinyaga highway has been paralyzed as students of the Gusii Institute lit fires and barricaded the roads in protest. The students are up in arms over the accidental death of 2 people who were crushed by a lorry outside their gate. Now, our reporter Elida Agoti is on the ground and joins us via phone to tell us what exactly is happening. Elida, what's happening currently on the ground?
Najma, thank you very much. What's happening currently on the ground is that tension is high in Kisii along Kirinyaga Road. It all started yesterday when there was an accident that happened where 2 workers from Gusii Institute were killed. The lorry that killed the workers was transporting electric poles from Kisii towards Kirinyaga. The traffic police officers impounded the lorry, and the police officer was driving it when it caused the accident. So after the accident, the students started protesting.
Yes.
They protested.
Then, I believe there were gunshots, and the students were engaging the police in running battles. Did anyone get injured in the process?
Yes, in the process, 6 people were injured. 1 of them a police officer, and then now they are getting treatment at Kisii Level 5 Hospital.
Okay. Elida, did you manage to talk to any of the authorities from the Gusii Institute?
No, we were not able to talk because of the confusion. It's just chaotic. It's just the students are just running. The road has been blocked. They have burnt 6 vehicles. There was a petrol station nearby the school. They vandalized everything. It's so chaotic. Even some of our journalists were attacked yesterday, even today. If you try to attempt to go near, they throw stones against you.
And have the roads been unblocked, or are they still blocked?
As we speak right now, the road is still blocked. As we speak right now, the poles are on the roads, and they are burning. The vehicles are still burning. The police are on the scene they are shooting on the air to dispatch the angry students.
Thank you very much. Elida Ogoti will be keeping an eye on that story. She tells us that 6 people have been injured in the protest and several vehicles burned in Kisii after the students from Gusii Institute went on the rampage protesting an accident that happened to one of the workers. Moving on now, Burundi's authorities say that they have arrested 3 generals for their role in an attempted coup, but the leader of the bid to overthrow the president, Pierre Nkurunziza, is still on the run after Thursday's heavy fighting for control of the state radio headquarters and frequent gunfire in the capital. Now, the streets of Bujumbura were quiet on Friday morning. Nkurunziza, who had been in Tanzania since the coup began, is said to have returned to Burundi on Thursday, signaling that the government had regained control of the capital. The president is due to address the nation in the coming hours, according to the government sources. Nkurunziza returns to face alarming splits in the army and a nation where thousands of protesters in Bujumbura had rallied against this bid for his bid for a third term in office. Now, meanwhile, civil society groups in Burundi are calling on people to return to the streets after weeks of protests against Nkurunziza's decision to seek a third term in office. The unrest has plunged Burundi into its deepest crisis since an ethnically fueled civil war ended in 2005. 4 police officers, together with their OCS, were yesterday arrested by the ethics and anti-corruption officers for extorting money from the Boda and Bar operators in Meru County. The 4 were reported to the commission by Boda operators, who claimed that they extorted 5,000 shillings from him yesterday. The officers had allegedly collected more than 14,000 shillings for the day before the EACC officers nabbed them. The EACC regional office was opened just 4 days ago in Isiolo to handle the rising corruption cases.
Majina na amount, kwa hivyo kila siku kuna pesa ambayo wana collect. Hii biashara ya pikipiki lazima watu waheshimu. Mtu amepata pesa yake kidogo, na wewe askari, badala kama kuna makosa lazima wajue njia ya kutatua na kuchukua sheria, lakini sio kuchukua sheria mikononi mwao. Au ndio wanakuwa arresting officers, wanakuwa majaji, na ndio wanahukumu tena watu hapo kwa police station.
Now, more than 70 camels have been recovered by the government officials with the help of peace elders from 2 warring clans in Garissa County. The animals, which got lost during the long spell of drought in the county, belong to a man from the Auli Hayan clan in Lagdera sub-county. They were recovered in Balabala sub-county. A series of meetings between the 2 clans concluded after a day-long meeting in Dujistown at the border of the 2 sub-counties, attended by the Auli Hayans and Aldiwaks tribesmen. Their peace elders led by the acting county commissioner James Kianda and the 2 sub-county commissioners.
Ya Balambala pamoja na wazee yake ambaye wamebata gambia kutoka Balambala na wamerudisha kutoka huko na wameleta area Duji ambaye sasa tuko wafanye vile watu ya Balambala ambaye wamefanya, ambaye wamerudisha kwa hiyo mfuko. Ukichukua mfuko ya mwenzako umechukua kwa laana. Huku chukua hiyo kitu mzuri. Kwa hivyo mtu jejote aidha Lagdera ama Balambala ama Kenya yote warudishe ile mfuko ambaye wako naye. Na hiyo gamia mara ya kwanza sio gamia ambaye imeibiwa, sio gamia ambaye imekuwa imechukuliwa. Hiyo gamia imepotea, lakini ameingia kwa district nyingine, ndio hawa ile wenzangu wamerudisha hiyo.
Now, Peace Ambassador Tegla Lerupe has called on the government to take urgent measures to curb the escalating wave of crime among the warring pastoralist communities in the North Rift region. The former marathoner who visited Nasrat area within Nadome in Baringo County expressed concern over what she called neglect by the authorities. She said after meeting their residents that the people affected by the recent raids were living under harsh conditions without any proper infrastructure in place.
It was not all about raiding. If there is something or there was something behind this, and if there is somebody who was sponsoring these people, it's unacceptable because they have evidence. Why is it that government were not able to go and seek this evidence that comes from the ground? That is something we are Kenyans. If we continue like this, where are we going? Where are we leading to?
The Pope's appointee from Italy in charge of the beatification ceremony in Nyeri arrived in Kenya yesterday. Postulator Gottardo Pasquellati arrived in Nyeri to oversee the planning of the event and give feedback to the Rome. Carol Derry gives us the latest in the preparations.
This is the new look Nyeri town. Previously dark corners have now been transformed after the national government chipped in to light up the streets of Nyeri. Due to the magnitude of the international beatification ceremony, the county government could use a little help. Ahead of the pilgrimage of thousands of guests from across the globe, the postulator of the cause of the beatification, Gottardo Pasquellati, who is here on behalf of Pope Francis, arrived in Nyeri from Italy Thursday afternoon to oversee the preparations.
La celebrazione della beatificazione di Suor Irene Stefani.
Speaking only in the Italian language, the postulator said he would communicate his findings back to the Vatican. He also confirmed that 300 Italian missionaries will be arriving from Italy.
Very happy to be in Nyeri.
Very good. Welcome.
Okay.
The Consolata Missionary Regional Superior, Sister Serafina Sergi, said their mission is to reach even those in remote, far-flung areas, and that is the reason Sister Irene served in Gekondi, so many miles away from her home in Ampho, Brescia province in Italy.
Beatification is like a seal, and this work. We can say that, yes, the evangelization has penetrated Kenya.
The fast approaching D-Day has set off a flurry of activity in the county with last-minute meetings underway to ensure that there will be no hitches. After a joint meeting between the key stakeholders tasked with the planning of the event, the Nyeri County government, representatives of the central government and the Catholic Church say all is set for the historic event.
We are talking again with the traders to ensure that we designate certain areas, for various activities of hawking and food and so on.
We had a meeting yesterday with the priests from all our parishes and tried to ask them whether they can mobilize.
As part of the measures to beef up security, taxi owners will be expected to register with the county government. Due to the large number of guests vis-a-vis the available number of hotel rooms, residents were asked to open their doors for the guests where possible.
Security is up to date. It will be maintained during the 3 days and even thereafter and even before.
It is also a chance for Nyeri to exhibit its products such as coffee and tea and tourism potential. A help desk has already been set up at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport.
An advert on Nyeri welcoming pilgrims, which will start tonight, the 360 media platform on top of KICC.
The main event will be at the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology near Nyeri town. Less than 10 days to the much anticipated beatification event. Nyeri residents are eager to see how this historic event will pan out, given that Nyeri already has historic significance. This is where Queen Elizabeth was as a princess when she was declared Queen of England, as well as the home and burial site of the Scouts leader Lord Baden-Powell, who said that the nearer to Nyeri, the nearer to bliss. Carol Derry, KTN, Nyeri County.
Well, time now for a short break, but when we come back, Abby Agina will be in studio with the Village Market MD to talk about Kenya's retail market.
Well, a warm welcome to KTN NewsDesk. My name is Abby Agina, and now it's time for a business chat segment. And joining me on set is the Managing Director of Village Market, Ahmed Esani. Welcome to KTN.
Thank you.
And today we'll be talking more about growing the retail market in Kenya. Village Market has been one of the active players within the Kenyan space for a number of years. And we are not seeing Village Market growing as much as we are seeing other malls coming up into the market.
Well, actually it is. It hasn't been announced much, but after 20 years of operation, Village Market has gone through 6 different expansion plans, and now it is on its 7th, which is responding basically to the needs of the market at the moment.
Yes.
And it will double the size of the Village Market with the 2 hotels that will be on site. The area covering will be over 1 million square feet now.
Wow. Tell us more about your expansion strategy now that you secured funding to the tune of 5.5 billion shillings.
Well, we noticed that there is a movement from the foreign retailers to look at the Kenyan market. And we've had a waiting list for the past few years of the tenant people who would like to take position at the Village Market. So the idea was to respond to that and create an atmosphere where the retailers can comfortably offer their products. And we noticed that at the same time other malls have also come up in Nairobi. We have some major players now, 2 Rivers up the road from us. There is the Hub at Karen and Garden City. Yeah, and quite a number.
City also.
Quite a number of others also that are coming up.
What does this mean for the market? Is it that there's renewed confidence that Kenya is having a fast-growing middle class that is ready to take up these particular services?
Of course, that's one part of it. I mean, the growth that we've seen in Kenya has been remarkable and continues. But also we have to see it from the global view. With this bad economy in the US for the past few years,
yes,
the slowdown of Europe, and Russia having issues with the political issues with the European community, international community, the slowdown of China, and somehow the Far East being saturated. The investors are looking for other areas, and so they're facing towards Africa. In Africa, in the north of Africa, because of the Arab Spring, there is hesitation still. In South Africa, because of the issues that we see in the news, normally xenophobic attacks. And also there are economic issues there as well. And West Africa, because of Ebola and other concerns, has limited the focus of the investors to East Africa. And when you look at East Africa, the first place, the hub, is Nairobi. And add that to the growth that is happening and the middle class growing and the demand for merchandise and products, it creates a very ripe atmosphere for new retail to come in.
Quite interesting. And looking at this huge amount you received, the 5.5 billion shillings, break it down for us. What exactly will it be going towards, and how long will the new expanded village market take?
We are almost a year into the construction. The retail part of the expansion will be ready by the end of this year, and the hotel, which is a 215-room hotel, towards the third quarter of next year. Out of the total amount, about 4 billion of that is going into construction. Another 1.5–2 billion will go towards fit out and equipment that's required.
And where does this place Village Market as one of the leading retail stores in Kenya?
You know, some of the malls that are coming up will be larger than what we will be, but the positioning is important. The way we are positioning ourselves is to make sure that we offer high quality products to our visitors, to our guests, that we improve the quality of service, which has always been part of the Village Market philosophy, and also to incorporate more arts and crafts and cultural events into the experience of the shoppers when they do visit us.
You mentioned that you'll be putting up a hotel there as well as other retail stores. Have we seen some commitment from various multinationals indicating that they want to come and have a stake in this project?
We have been approached by many, in many ways, some who are interested to see what we're doing, and the others who want to take the concept to other parts of Africa. Ghana, Nigeria, Mozambique, and among others have been the countries that have expressed interest. But our priority has been to develop the market in Nairobi first, before we venture out into other markets. And we still feel there's huge opportunities in Kenya for growth. Maybe for a few years now retail is taken care of, but then there are other areas of development that one can look at.
And according to the recent report by PwC, it actually states that sub-Saharan Africa is poised to witness 55% growth in the retail market. From where you sit, what's the outlook like for the retail market in Kenya now that we are having a fast-growing population as well?
There are two things happening that one should understand about the retail. One is the growth of retail, the market in Kenya itself. That means that we used to have individually owned units, one shop in one mall and maybe a second. But now we're witnessing a development of chains, chains of stores of 5 or 6 in different malls. And whereas you used to deal as a landlord with the individual, now you're dealing with the corporate that understands retail. So it's much more complex and advanced than before. And we're seeing more and more of this happening. Excuse me. Quite a lot of people were experimenting with retail, either selling at home or importing and distributing, are also now getting into retail. This is just the local scene itself. Then we see the retailers from South Africa, for example, or Europe, or Dubai, are looking for outlets and investment opportunities, and they see that opportunity in Kenya, and they're coming forward now.
Well, and that's a good place to end it. Thank you, Ahmed, for coming.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate your time, and we'll be keeping an eye on how the project continues to develop moving forward. And that's all we had time for here on Business Chat. My name is Abiagina. Let's cross over to Najma to get the latest of what's been making headlines across the globe.
Well, thank you very much, Abby. Again, now, legendary guitarist B.B. King died on Thursday night. King announced that he was in home hospice care 2 weeks ago. His daughter, Patty King, said that he died in Las Vegas earlier this month. She said his dehydration was caused by type 2 diabetes. Stephanie Elam reviews his reign as the king of blues, which lasted more than 6 decades and influenced a generation of rock and blues musicians.
It's hard to imagine the blues without B.B. King. The legendary blues man released over 50 albums with hit songs such as The Thrill Is Gone and Let the Good Times Roll.
You done me wrong, baby. Put me sorry.
Born Riley B. King in Mississippi, he worked as a tractor driver in the cotton fields before embarking on his musical career. He began recording in the 1940s and became known as Blues Boy King, and then more simply, B.B. King. In 1956, at the height of his popularity, he played an astonishing 342 one-night stands.
Whole lot of loving, baby, just waiting for you.
He continued a rigorous touring schedule into his 80s. King's persistence and passion for the blues paid off, winning 15 Grammys.
It always feels very, very good to go on stage, whether you win a Grammy or not.
Throughout the years, King worked with various artists like Rockers U2 on the song When Love Comes to Town, and with Eric Clapton on the album Riding with the King.
I get a chance to learn a lot of great things from people that have so much going for them today.
In 1987, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and was also given a spot on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1990. He was rarely seen without his faithful black lacquered Gibson guitar, Lucille.
This is my girl, Lucille.
The gifted guitarist became the first blues musician to be honored with the Kennedy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1995. President George W. Bush also honored King in 2006 with the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his musical contributions.
Been around a long time, a long time.
King's health was sometimes a concern since he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in his early 60s.
To me, blues is a type of music that's like a tonic. It's good for whatever ails you.
In 2012, President Obama hosted a concert celebrating blues music. B.B. King was one of the featured performers.
The king of the blues, Mr. B.B. King.
You only live once, when you're dead, you're done. Let the good times roll.
With a career spanning over 50 years, B.B. King let the good times roll.
Good time roll. Good time roll. Good time roll.
A legend indeed. Now to Zimbabwe. Crocodile farming in Zimbabwe is boosting the struggling economy through the sale of meat, shoes, bags and belts, with the industry employing 1,100 people and at least 100,000 of the animals bred each year. Here's more on this story.
In Zimbabwe, a different kind of agriculture is bringing in millions to the economy: crocodile farming. In this farm near Victoria Falls, they are reared for their meat, 130 tons of which was exported last year alone. In total, the Crocodile Nature Sanctuary made over $500,000 of profits in 2014 from the sale of meat, skin products and tourism.
Is $200 from crocodile belly, and on the bags, the expensive one, it's $1,475. Okay, and the least we can say the cheapest one is around $200 and something.
In the last year, over 43,000 crocodile skins were sold, mostly to the European market, but increasingly in Asia and Australia as well. Other leather products that can be made from crocodile hide include shoes and bags. The industry currently employs 1,100 people, with at least 100,000 crocodiles bred every year. Though the Crocodile Farmers Association of Zimbabwe says the seasonal nature of the animals' breeding patterns makes it very difficult to ensure a steady income throughout the year.
April, May, June, na July. Also can ramasai pakatipa August na September. And also chochonya pakatipa November na December. Sireba kuti masayano tora mwezi mitatu kuti ya chochonye.
Those not killed draw in cash as tourist attractions, and with Zimbabwe's economy still struggling, this growing industry represents at least one profitable sector.
Moving on to sports now, the 2015 IAAF Diamond League Series gets underway in Doha, Qatar today, and the focus will be on the men's 800-meter where Kenya's Asbel Kiprop will come head-to-head with Ethiopia's Mohamed Aman. Meanwhile, two-time Olympic gold medalist Mo Farah of Britain will compete for the first time in Doha.
The opening 800 meters race of the IAAF Diamond League season in Doha will be a perfect chance for fans to enjoy the battle of Ethiopian Mohamed Aman, an 800 meters victor, against 1500 meters specialist Asbel Kiprop. Kiprop, a three-time winner of the IAAF Diamond League meeting in Doha, will attempt to repeat his success of 2011 when he won 800 meters race, despite the fact that 800 meters is not his favorite discipline. Other Kenyans in the 800 meters title chase include reigning world junior champion Alfred Kipketer, Ferguson Rotich, Job Kinyor and Jeremiah Mutai. In the men's 3000 meters race, Britain's Mo Farah, one of the sport's biggest names, will be taking center stage when he makes his debut in Qatari capital. Leading the Kenyan attack will be Isaiah Kiplangat Koech, the 2013 world champion bronze medalist and 2012 Olympic finalist. Joining him will be Thomas Longesiwa together with Geoffrey Baruki and Edwin Cheriot. Ethiopia will come armed with Hegos Gebrehiwet, the 2013 World Championship silver medalist, together with Yaniu Alamireu. There will be no shortage of stars in the men's javelin throw field, one that features the reigning Olympic champion Keshon Walcott from Trinidad and Tobago. African and Commonwealth champion Julius Yego will be lining up in Doha as well. Moses Wahisi, KTN Sports.
Dnipro will play holders Sevilla in the final of the Europa League after defeating Serie A side Napoli. Sevilla, on the other hand, stormed through to the Europa League final after completing a semi-final mauling of Fiorentina in Florence. Leading 3-0 from the first leg, Sevilla netted twice in the opening half hour to end any faint hopes of a Fiorentina comeback. Sevilla of La Liga completed the job, winning 2-0 in Italy and 5-0 on aggregate with goals from Carlos Pasa and Daniel Carico. Dnipro, on the other side, defeated Serie A side Napoli. Ukrainian striker Yevhen Seleznyov headed the only goal of the night to Rafa Benitez's side, a 10-game unbeaten run in the competition, and still a 2-1 aggregate win. The final is in Warsaw on 27th of May. LeBron James and Kyrie Irving were far from the spotlight. Australian Matthew Dellavedova rose to the playoffs occasion to help the Cleveland Cavaliers advance to their first Eastern Conference Finals since 2009 after beating the Chicago Bulls 94-73 in Game 6. Dellavedova led the Cavaliers with 19 points off the bench, covering the absence of Irving, who had his left knee rather. Tristan Thompson added 13 points, clearing the boards with a game-high 17 rebounds. Although the Bulls entered Game 6 with a sense of desperation to remain alive in the series, they lacked power in the second quarter, allowing the Cavaliers to take control and never trail again. Cavaliers All-Star James finished with 15 points and will play his 5th straight Eastern Conference Finals in Los Angeles. The Houston Rockets rallied from a 19-point deficit in third quarter to beat the Clippers 119-104 in Game 6 of their Western Conference to even the series at 3-3. Well, that's it on KTN News Desk this afternoon. My name is Najma Ismail.